We're looking at late round lottery ticket players to draft in fantasy football, especially right now. It's Labor Day weekend, and everybody's drafting in the backyard, getting drunk, drinking Coors Lights, getting their guys. One guy you may want to look at here is Xavier Legette. He's going cheap in drafts, maybe undrafted in your traditional home league drafts, but you want to look at him today. We're going to deep dive his portfolio, his advanced metrics, the news, and everything else, so you know a little bit more about him and see whether you need or don't need him for your team. But before we do that, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we do this every day with players, especially those top waiver wire players, or those guys just climbing the depth chart, or those trending players. We go over the waiver wire every day. We help you set your lineups with these videos by going over the matchups. Click that button. Stop missing outs. But he was dealing with injuries off and on throughout the offseason, training camp, minicamp, OTAs, in and out. That's the one thing about him that's caused his stock to drop a little bit, because he was a big speculation lottery ticket play throughout the offseason. But he wasn't a big-time recruit coming out of high school. He did get some merit there with a 4-star rating, 6'3", 190 coming out. Some big schools looking at him like Tennessee. Not a hugely sought-after prospect, but he did get some Power 5 programs to look at him. But he wasn't productive. We'd had injuries and a bunch of other things that happened to him throughout time that impacted his career. But in 2023, we went off. 71 catches, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, looked good on the field. Showed that size-adjusted athleticism, looked good, 3.15 yards per route ran. Very good, and average depth target at 13.8. He's getting the ball deep downfield with Spencer Rattler, throwing him the rock. And then we got to the Senior Bowl. The first day of practices at the Senior Bowl, he didn't look good. But days 2 and 3, the third day of practice, he turned it on, and he looked like a good route runner there. He was creating separation. He was very aggressive at the catch point, good around the boundary, and he's a guy that's going to develop and get better. You'll see that over time. You'll see him make plays during training camp. He's got a lot of upside, and he's also got a lot of speed. He can hit 22.3 miles per hour, and he's a big boy. He's thick, and he can pull away at 221 pounds, runs a 4.39, top-tier athleticism, drafted in the first round in a Dave Canales offense that's got Bryce Young going into year 2, and they're trying to retool the team. This team's going to be a little bit faster paced. This team's adding new weapons. Xavier Legette's one of them, and he's a player that's probably not going to hit week 1, but could be a player that starts turning things around week 6, 7, 8, Halloween time, Thanksgiving time, starts getting noticed in the offense. You look at the wide receivers here, it's kind of ambiguous. But the thing about these wide receivers versus last year prior with the other coaching regime, like guys like Jonathan Mingo was turning up in training camp, making big plays. Terrace Marshall's not there anymore, but he was making big plays like he always does in training camp, but it kind of was against competition in 11 versus 11, 7 versus 7. So these wide receivers are starting to perform a little bit more in practice. Xavier Legette's going to be on the field, especially when he's healthy, good to go, at full strength, full speed. He's going to be out there. They're going to use him in certain packages. Doesn't mean he's going to be fantasy relevant during that time. He may not get enough workload to do that. You got Deontay Johnson. He's going to push for over a 25% share of the targets. Adam Thielen's going to push around 18 to 20%. Xavier Legette's an upside play. He's nastier, more aggressive off the break than what people expect, but he's good underneath. You can run drag routes with this guy all day. You can stretch it to him downfield. He's got that 4.3 speed. He's going to get some opportunity in this offense. He's a lottery ticket. He's got upside. He could win your league for you. This could be the play for you. If you're looking for those lottery ticket wide receivers that come out of nowhere, that you're second guessing. Dave Canales was the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, and you can say he turned Baker Mayfield around. He looked good last year, looked good with the team. Also with Seattle, QB coach, passing game coordinator, slower volume passing offense, but he did work with DK Metcalf, a bigger wide receiver with good speed that gets downfield. What is Xavier Legette? A bigger wide receiver with good speed that gets downfield. They are not the same player. They are not to be compared to. But with those aspects, that could be a player he wants back in his offense. And then you look at Tampa Bay, because everything's totally different now with Carolina, new coaching staff, new personnel. You look at Tampa Bay, look at where the targets are funneled. It went to the studs. And we have Deontay Johnson as the stud wide receiver, who would probably be the wide receiver 3 on this team. So that's something to take note. So it is kind of ambiguous. You also got Adam Thielen. I look for those two to get funneled opportunity. But I look for Xavier Legette to mix in a little bit as he gets developed. But you look at both teams here. But when you take in account the negative game scripts and everything else, Tampa Bay ran a lot faster by a few seconds per snap or a second and a half per snap. But per play wise, on average, they're kind of in lockstep here. Tampa Bay did run more plays than Carolina. Tampa Bay was a faster paced offense. In neutral game script, they're faster paced. Carolina is very slow in neutral game script. They're about 28 plus seconds per play, where Tampa Bay is around 27 or so. But I just wanted to point that out because I thought the rates were funny. But Tampa Bay with Canales was faster. I expect Carolina to be a little bit faster. I think Bryce Young's going to be better in year 2. He's been looking good in training camp, OTAs, and in practice. And Deontay Johnson's going to create separation. I think he's going to be a great addition for this team. And Xavier Legette over the middle could be the upside play you want. And people are down on him due to training camp. He wasn't out there. He wasn't out there. You couldn't see him. You couldn't bet on him. It's hard to make that bet. Round 13 draft capital, though, that's cheap. He was like round 12, round 11 range a few months ago, around July and June, because he does have that upside. But the same upside's there. You're just catching him at a discount. And that discount is still for a lottery ticket that could give you nothing throughout the whole year. But it's also a lottery ticket that if he emerges, develops quickly and rapidly, could get you up here because that's in his prospect profile. He's got the upside with the athleticism, the speed, the size, and everything. Again, he's an older wide receiver. Again, some of the metrics don't go his way due to that, due to the production. But on top of that, we do have the draft capital, size, adjust athleticism. He's going to be getting opportunities due to him being a first-round pick, due to him having some upside in his game. He was drafted for that. Everything else that we talked about being downside, that was taken into account when he got drafted. But size, adjust athleticism, and that speed in rounds, probably at 14, 15, 16 range of your home league draft, probably not even getting drafted, might be something you want. Round 14 and multi-site ADP, so he's even cheaper there. You're talking about the average of Yahoo, ESPN, and NFL.com, your basic sites for ADP. He's averaged around 14. He might be cheaper in your home league draft. Keep a look at that. But you don't need him. You're slamming running backs as lottery tickets. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm suggesting you probably should do in the back end of your draft. Maybe get one lottery ticket wide receiver. This might be your guy. This may not be your guy. But you love the talent and you want to go after it. Maybe you're a Panthers fan. Maybe you like Canales. Maybe you like the offense. Maybe you like the changes. Whatever it is, he's a lottery ticket. And you know what? You got to have some lottery tickets here and there. And your portfolio should have maybe one lottery ticket wide receiver, especially with this deep wide receiver class of 2024. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.